Guys, I've came across something within the last 12 months, probably around the last year, that I think should be shared to everyone. This is kind of a concept of how you organize your life, and I think it could be really beneficial for those that have never heard of it. I watch a lot of, or in the past, I've watched a lot of YouTubers in the fitness and health area. And about 12 months ago, I started getting into watching a lot of powerlifting YouTube channels and bodybuilding YouTube channels, more specifically professional level ones, and kind of just have been absorbing and understanding how they organize their entire routine. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with this or into the whole bodybuilding or powerlifting segment of fitness or whatnot, but there's a concept where you have a bulking phase, which is in bodybuilding, and then in powerlifting it's more of a strength gaining phase, and then they both have a little bit of a maintenance phase, and then they have a cutting phase where you're cutting weight but trying to maintain as much muscle and strength as possible, and you kind of repeat that flow. And that is kind of what I want to talk about for life and applying that to life. And it's what it is essentially periodizing your life. So creating these periods, these seasons within a year to break up everything you want to do and go hard at, and breaking it up and sticking it within those windows throughout the year. So I think this is super beneficial, and I've been doing it, and it's been very helpful. And if you haven't tried it and you want maybe a little bit more organization with how you're maintaining all of your activities, your hobbies, your goals and whatnot, I think it can really be crucial and helpful for you. So it's what I'm talking about is experimenting with seasonal changes. So kind of what I had talked about with the exercising and the bodybuilding, similar to that, you can do that with any facet in your life. So I'm going to break it out in a simple way, but if we have 52 weeks in a year, or we say if we have 12 months in a year, and you break it into 4 3-month windows, 4 3-month increments, and basically you have goals within those 4 3-month increments set. So I'm going to give you some examples for me and what I'm doing in my life to utilize this strategy. And when you're doing that and you're putting your effort in on certain goals, you're putting the other ones that you might focus on in other seasons or other months of the year on maintenance. And you're just keep maintaining them the bare minimum or progressing at the bare minimum level just to kind of maintain or barely get better at them. So I'm going to give you guys some examples. So I talked about kind of exercise. You have that whole bulk and cutting phase. So kind of what I've been doing is I bulk for about 6 months, right? And then I cut for about 3 months. And then that leaves 3 months for me to just maintain. And all I do on that maintenance window is basically not focus that much on working out. I do the minimum just to maintain my muscle and strength. So I go in and work hard, but I'm only working out 4 days a week, and I'm doing minimum levels of volume. I don't know if you guys are familiar with all these terms or whatnot, but if not, let me know and I can do more videos on that. But the minimum effective dose to just maintain my muscle and strength for 3 or 4 months. So, but in the 3 or 4 months when I'm doing that, then I'm focusing on maybe growing my career at work, or getting better at the guitar and pushing that hard. Or maybe now I'm doing this whole YouTube thing, right? So now I'm focusing more. I could use that window where I'm taking a step back from working out and I'm pushing more on that. So right now I'm in my bulking phase and I've got a couple months left. And I'll tell you what, now I've gotten into this YouTube thing where I'm pushing that now. So exercise and YouTube are kind of a priority for me right now. guitar is something I have on maintenance and something that I'm just playing minimally, like maybe like 10 to 30 minutes a day at the most, maybe 5 days a week, just to keep like my guitar skills up and maintain them, and maybe just progressing or practicing something like for 5 to 10 minutes a day, like nothing crazy. But maybe in a different season, I would focus more on that. So it's essentially kind of organizing how you want to get better at things throughout the year, so you can actually do it like you can do it in a way that is sustainable and maintainable for you. Because if you're going hard, like I'm using myself as an example here again, but if I'm going hard on exercising, like trying to progress my job at work, like and progress my career and get better at my job, progressing in the guitar and doing YouTube all at the same time, you're just going to burn out. It doesn't work like that. Like you can't just go all out on everything. Something has to sacrifice, right? It's just that if that was the case, we would all be proficient and good at everything. But we have to sacrifice, right? And that's part of life. But it's super important to realize that and be aware of it. But also, when you're maintaining these things, when you're in that phase where you're just maintaining something, like right now, I'm kind of maintaining the guitar. I don't think you guys understand it, and you should try it out. I would totally recommend it. How little or what it really takes to maintain something and just maintain your proficiency at something. It doesn't take much, right? So you could apply this to like maybe learning a language. Maybe you have 6 months where you go hard on that, and then you're taking 3 months where you're just remembering the basic stuff. If you come back 3 months later after that, you're going to like know 90% of what you've learned. Like you're going to have the majority of it just by maintaining it. And it doesn't take nearly as much effort. So, why should you do this? I kind of mentioned it earlier, but I really think this is good for maintaining consistency on everything you want to progress at. This is the most sustainable way to do it and consistently do it. It prevents burnout, which is the most important thing to avoid, because if you burn out, I mean, honestly, what can happen is you might end up there's a higher chance that you're going to end up depressed because you're not hitting your goals and you're going so hard on everything. You're going to be exhausted, and you're not going to have any time to like have fun and enjoy life. Like you're going so hard on these things, you can't just like zoom out for a minute and just enjoy the process. So I feel this strategy helps you enjoy the process. Yeah, it might take a little bit longer, but it's the only legitimate, sustainable way to do everything you want to do, I think. And you know what? I think there's a lot of people that do this without even intentionally doing it. But I think it's a very good strategy. It helps you enjoy the process more. When things take longer and you have control over what's going on, it makes you enjoy it and get excited for what's next. You're operating on a plan. That's super important. Like everything is planned out. Everything is allocated in its certain way, and you're following a plan for a purpose. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I just wanted to share this topic. Have you guys ever tried periodizing your life? I know this is kind of a thing people do in like working out or whatnot, but like going hard for 3 months on something or 6 months and then taking a break and planning that out with everything in your life, right? Like this is a really good strategy. Like if something comes up in your life, like a big unexpected thing comes up in your life, you can put something on maintenance and maintain it with the minimum effective dose it takes, and you can allocate your time on what it needs to be prioritized to. So I would be curious to hear if you guys have done this. I'm starting to do it with a lot of things in my life, and trying to plan where they fit. Where should I be going hard at this time of year with this thing? Where should I be maintaining? Where should I be just kind of holding off and playing around and trying to figure out how I can continually and overall as a whole unit and person progress. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I appreciate you guys for listening as always. Any support is appreciated, and I hope you guys have a great 2026. This is January 1st today. Happy New Year. We have made it to 2026, gang. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks so much, and peace out.